The Huskers managed to squeak out a win tonight against Northwestern, but before they did, they suffered a few losses, with both J.D. Spielman and quarterback Adrian Martinez leaving the game with injuries. That gave Noah Vedral a chance to take center stage. But first, we begin tonight with breaking news. The city of Lincoln is now under mandatory water restrictions. This as the Platte River continues to threaten the city's supply. And the Nebraska Department of Corrections says it's exploring options to combat the delivery of drugs and other contraband to inmates by drones. Several stores across Lincoln are all out of toilet paper and hand sanitizer due to the COVID-19 outbreak. Now, a Lincoln family has decided to help out the elderly by giving out both of those things for free. I want to celebrate Mardi Gras after seeing how much good food they have, the fun masks.
Excellent. Hey, thank you, Cameron.
Well, we have some good news and some bad news when it comes to that ice jam on the Elkhorn River. The good news, Highway 275 is back open. The bad, experts don't expect that jam to pass anytime soon. The Nebraska Department of Corrections says a hotel employee who died in downtown Lincoln was an inmate at the Community Corrections here in Lincoln. Lincoln Fire and Rescue is still trying to investigate what caused a fire at a recently condemned apartment building near North Cotner Boulevard and Garland Street overnight. And some college students in Atlanta got the surprise of a lifetime this weekend when it was announced at the commencement ceremony that everyone's student debt had been paid.
So you a big XFL girl?
I'm a big St. Louis girl.
Oh, there you go. So jump on the Battlehawks bandwagon.
10-11 now at 10 starts now with breaking news.
We begin tonight with a massive fire in North Lincoln. That fire has spread to several homes on one street. 10-11 now's Abby Peterson is live with more. Abby.
Peterson, 10-11 now.
Yeah, great news that nobody was hurt. Thank you so much, Abby. The South Street Temple's new motto is stronger than hate after a man spray painted hateful racist messages on the building. Now the congregation has closure after the suspect was arrested this week. 10-11 now's Jared Austin is in the studio with more. Jared. 10-11's Jared Austin reporting. 2 staff members at the Nebraska State Penitentiary are recovering from serious injuries after they were assaulted by an inmate last night. It happened around 6:30 in one of the housing units. Nebraska Department of Corrections says the inmate first punched a staff member in the head, knocking him unconscious. The inmate also took the staff member's canister of pepper spray and sprayed him while the staff member was still on the ground. At the same time, inmates alerted another staff member to that situation. That staff member was also attacked by the same inmate as he arrived. The second staff member was hit in the head several times with the pepper spray canister, but was able to deploy his own pepper spray and call for assistance. The inmate was finally able to be restrained, but both staff members were taken to the hospital. The county attorney will investigate to determine if there will be criminal prosecution. NDCS says the inmate will also be disciplined appropriately. Hard to believe, but a year ago today, the capital city saw 8 inches of snow. Thankfully, that's not the case today. With more on that and your morning commute, here's Bill with a first look at your forecast. Hi, Bill. Tonight, we have an update on a story you may have seen here on 10-11 just a few weeks ago. A local Boy Scout who was asking for donations to put together first aid kits to give away to people in need got an overwhelming response and was able to help dozens of families. 10-11 now's Abby Peterson reports. 10-11's Abby Peterson reporting. Now, Sam tells us that he'll be donating some of the extra first aid kits to the local Boy Scout troop that had their trailer catch fire just last week on Highway 77. White House officials are expecting to ask Congress for emergency funding this week to battle the coronavirus amid growing fears of a larger outbreak in the U.S. Now, the request is not yet finalized, but could be sent to Capitol Hill as soon as tomorrow. The U.S. now has 35 confirmed cases of coronavirus. 13 Americans who returned from quarantine aboard the Diamond Princess cruise ship are still at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. The Trump administration has suspended all commercial flight traffic from China and has imposed quarantine orders on certain people who have recently spent time in China if they attempt to return to the U.S. This weekend, it was all about our four-legged friends at the Lancaster Event Center. It's the annual I Love My Dog Expo. Hundreds of dog owners packed the event center to learn about training, different boarding options, and how to keep their dogs healthy. The event is sponsored by Domestipups as a fundraiser to allow them to continue training service and therapy dogs in our community. Each service dog takes thousands of dollars to raise and train, and Domestipups says events like this make it all possible. Domestipups has more than 40 dogs in its program right now and hopes to have several trained and sent to new homes in the next few months. This year's legislative session is now halfway through, and senators are getting to crunch time trying to get their bills passed. This week, lawmakers had to decide what would be their priority bill this session. Lawmakers each get one priority bill per session, and committees get two. Being a priority bill means it'll get debated before others, and with lengthy debates expected, that may be their only chance of getting passed. Hundreds of other bills that didn't make the cut are essentially dead this session, unless senators merge them with other legislation. The legislature is back in session tomorrow. Today, dozens of people in Grand Island got wordy as they competed for a good cause. The Literacy Council of Grand Island hosted their 11th annual Scrabble tournament today. 12 teams made up of people from around the state put their best words forward to compete in 2 divisions. This is an event the Literacy Council puts on to raise money for their programs, which are free of charge for all students. Several businesses donated items for a raffle, and all the money from that will go towards their programs as well. The organization offers one-on-one tutoring, a language and learning lab, and a community connection center. Still ahead on 10/11 now at 10, President Trump is on his way to India for the first time since taking office, while he's expecting a huge warm welcome. Plus, a rescue mission turned to a recovery mission, but when all hope was lost, a miraculous discovery. How these hikers were found alive. That's coming up.